Hello everyone, welcome to Indian Judicial Service. Today we are going to discussing here directive principles of state policy which are provided in Article 36 to 51 and Part 4 of the Constitution, and fundamental duties of the citizen which are provided in Article 51 and Part 4A of the Constitution. This video is the 19th part of top 1000 MCQ of constitutional law. Those who are not watched the previous video, please go and watch the previous videos. All the link of previous videos are available in our description box, and those who want the PDF file of these video series, the PDF file will be uploaded in our Telegram as well as WhatsApp group. You may join the Telegram group and WhatsApp group. Link of Telegram and WhatsApp group is also available in our description box. Now come to the point. Before starting MCQs, now we are going to discussing here fundamental duties, because many viewers send me a mail and messages, please discussing fundamental duties and important provision of the Constitution, especially in directive principle of state policy. That's why in this video we discuss fundamental duties before starting MCQ. So in this topic we discuss the history of fundamental duties and what are the fundamental duties provided in Part 4A of the Constitution. Now we come to the history of fundamental duty. So fundamental duties are recommended by the committee of, this is first important point here, Swarn Singh Committee. Swarn Singh Committee. So in period of 1976, the Congress party set up the Sardar Swarn Singh Committee to make the recommendation for fundamental duties, and in the needed and necessity of which was felt during the operation of the internal emergency. So during the operation of internal emergency, so what are the period of internal emergency? The period of internal emergency was 1975 to 1976. So committee recommended the inclusion of separate chapter of fundamental duties in Constitution, and so it stated that the citizen should become the conscious that the addition of enjoyment of right, so enjoyment of right is there, so there should be duties for the citizen, because they should perform the duties for the nation. That's why they introduce the fundamental duties for the citizen, and they introduce this part by the amendment of 42nd Amendment Act 1976. So this amendment introduced the Part 4A of the Constitution. So this thing is here, and Swarn Singh Committee recommended 8 fundamental duties, but in that time introduced adding 10 fundamental duties, and after that 86 through the 86th amendment one another fundamental duty added here. Now our Constitution have 11 fundamental duties for the citizen. Now come to the fundamental duties. So Article 51A, fundamental duties. So it shall be the duty of every citizen. So it is very important. The fundamental duties only for the citizen of India. So first one duties here of A, to abide by the Constitution in respect to its ideals and institution, the national flag and national anthem, means that every citizen respect the ideal and institutions and national flag and anthem. Second here, to cherish follow the noble idea, this is very important, and spread our national struggle for freedom. So this one is second fundamental duties of the citizen. Now third one, uphold and protect the sovereignty, integrity, this is very important, please focus it, sovereignty, integrity and unity and integrity of the India. So these 3 points here means every citizen uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. Now fourth, to defend the country, render the national service when called upon to do so. This is the fourth one. Now fifth, to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood, this is very important here, among all. So this thing is here, and the people of India transcending the religious, linguistic and regional and sensational diversities. So this thing is there, and also renounce the practice of derogatory to the dignity of women. This is also added in our fundamental duties of the citizen. So this one is there, fifth. Now sixth one, to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. This one is the sixth. Now seventh one here, to protect and improve the natural environment including forest, lake, river and wildlife, and to have the compassion for living creatures. So this thing here. Now eighth one here, H, to develop a scientific temper, humanism and spirit of inquiry and reform. So this thing is eighth fundamental duties of the citizen. Now ninth one, to safeguard public property. This is very important. It is public property, not private property. Many times examination the question asks the safeguard of public property, private property. So private property is wrong there. So and be abjure violence. So this one is ninth here. Now 10th one, to strive towards the excellence of all sphere of individual and collective activities so that the nation constantly rises to higher level. This is very important, of endeavor and achievement. So these are there in 10th one. And now the final one here, 11th, and this is very important. It is added by the 86th amendment. And who is the parent or guardian to provide the opportunity for education to his child, or as the case may be, the word between the age of 6 and 14. So 6 to 14 year is there. So every parent's duty to provide the education to their children under the age of 6 to 14 year. So these are the 11 fundamental duties of the citizen. Now come to our MCQ. Question number 336. The protection and improvement of environment including forest and wildlife of country is. So this provision is provided in Article 48A, and this is our directive principle of state policy, and same type of provision is provided in Article 51A of clause G of. So this one is the fundamental duties of the citizen. So these two provision, first one is here directive principle of state policy, and second one is the fundamental duty of the citizen. Now come to our option. First option A here, directive principle. Option B here, fundamental duties. Option C here, national policy. And option D here, both directive principle and fundamental duty. So clearly answer here option D. Question number 337. Upholding, protecting the sovereignty, unity and integrity. These three words are very important. Sovereignty, unity and integrity. These three words especially found in our preamble. Our preamble dealing with the people of India having a solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. So sovereign word is easily found in the initial line of the preamble. And whenever we read the fraternity, so in preamble, the fraternity assuring the dignity of individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. So these two words found in the line of the fraternity. So these are provided in our preamble. And option A here, the part of preamble of the constitution. Yes, these words are the part of the preamble of the constitution. Fundamental duties. Yes, these provisions are found in fundamental duties under Article 51A clause C. We just discussed these things in fundamental duties part. Now option C, the basic structure of the constitution. Yes, it is the basic structure of the constitution, means sovereignty, unity and integrity of the nation is the basic structure of the constitution. It is declared by the Honorable Supreme Court. Now option D, a part of preamble, fundamental duties as well as the basic structure of our constitution. So it is clear here our answer option D. Question number 338. Fundamental duties enacted in part 4A of constitution are. Option A, enforceable duties. So these are not enforceable. This is wrong here. And parliament can impose the penalty or punishment for the non-compliance. So this is wrong here. Now option B, like directive principle are mandate to people. Yes, this statement is correct here. Fundamental duties enacted in part 4A of the constitution are like a directive principle and mandate to people. So this statement is correct. Now option C, like fundamental rights are enforceable. This is absolutely wrong. Fundamental duties are not like a fundamental right. These duties are not enforceable in any court and at the time of breach of duty. So it is wrong here. Now option D, no more than meant to create the psychological consciousness among the citizen and of the education value. So this statement is also wrong, because fundamental duties having the value and it should be followed by the every citizen, and this is clearly held by the Supreme Court in case of very important case West Bengal headmaster versus Union of India, AIR 1983. Please remember this case. This is very important case related to fundamental duties. So answer is here option B, like a directive principle are mandate to people. Now question number 339. Fundamental duties have been added in the Constitution by 42nd Amendment Act 1976 in according with the recommendation of, so clearly answer is here Swan Singh Committee. So answer here option C. Now question number 340. The provision related to fundamental duties cannot be enforced by writ, and they can be only promoted by constitution methods, but they can be used for interpreting the ambiguous status. In which of the cases was this principle enunciated? Now option A here Moti Lal versus State of UP, option B here Civil Right Committee versus Union of India, option C here Headmaster versus Union of India, option D here Magan Bhai versus Union of India. So clearly answer here option C, Headmaster versus Union of India, AIR 1983. So answer is here option C. Now question number 341. Which of the following is not a directive principle? So option A here, the state shall endeavor to secure for the citizen uniform civil code. Yes, this is a directive principle. It is clearly provided in Article 44. Now option B here, state shall promote with special care of education and economic interest of weaker section. Yes, this is the directive principle of state policy, and it is clearly provided in Article 46 of the Constitution. Now option C here, the state shall endeavor to promote the adult education to eliminate literacy. So this thing is not provided in directive principle of state policy clearly. So there is no direct provision of adult education in our directive principle. Now option D here, the state shall procure the sportsmanship. Yes, this one is also not provided in our directive principle of state policy in our constitution under the part 4 of the constitution. But this one, states shall endeavor to promote the adult education to eliminate illiteracy. So this type of provision, related to this type of provision, is provided in Article 41 and 46. So these articles related to the education, right to education to the weaker and poor peoples, and removing the illiteracy system. So that's why in actually there is no provision, direct provision of adult education, but these articles may ensure the adult education to eliminate the illiteracy. But this provision means the state shall procure the sportsmanship is no ground of under these articles. So it is absolutely wrong here. So clearly now we choose the option D here. Answer is here option D. It may be on answer C, but most appropriate answer is here option D, because both are not clearly provided in directive principle of state policy. Now question number 342. Respect for the national flag and national anthem is, so this is very important question here. So respect for national flag and national anthem is our fundamental duties, and it is provided in Article 51A clause A. So this is clear here. So it is a fundamental duty. Now option A, fundamental rights, so it is wrong. Fundamental duties, yes, it is correct here. Directive principle of state policy, ordinary duty of every citizen. So clearly answer here option B, fundamental duty of every citizen. This is very important, not every person, every is only for citizen. Now question number 343. Assertion, directive principles are not enforceable by any court. Option, reason is here, the directive principles are more or less fundamental. in governance of the country. So this both statements are correct. Directive principles are not enforceable in any court. This thing is provided in Article 37 of the Constitution. And directive principles are more and less fundamental because it is not purely fundamental, because it is not enforceable by in any court, and it is very necessary for the governance, proper governance, and the government should work for the welfare of the society. So it is also important. So this thing, both statements are correct. Now option A, both A and R true. Yes, it is correct here, but R is a correct explanation of A. This one is wrong here. Now option B, both A and R true. Yes, this is correct here, but R is not the correct explanation of A. So this is our correct answer is here option B. And A is true but R, so this is wrong, and A is false, this is wrong, because A is also correct here. Now question number 344. Directive principle of state policy are the concise of constitution which embodied the social philosophy of constitution was described by. So this statement means the directive principle of state policy are concise of constitution and which embody the social philosophy of the constitution was described by the Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. So clearly answer is here option C. Now question number 345. Which of the following are included in the list of fundamental duties in the constitution? Option A, to avoid the constitution and respect its ideal institution. Yes, this is the fundamental duty. So it is correct here because this one is provided here in Article 51A clause A. Now option B here, point 2 here, to safeguard the public property and to be abjure the violence. So safeguard of public property is very important here, and it is clearly provided in 51A clause I. Now third one, to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India, and this thing is provided in Article 51A clause C. And last one here, to uphold and protect secularism. Yes, this is absolutely wrong. It is not provided in our fundamental duties. So first three options are correct here. Now come to the code. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yes, option D is correct here. Now question number 346. Assertion: the directive principles are relevant to determining the reasonableness for restriction under Article 19. Reason is here, directive principles have been declared a superior to fundamental rights. So first of all, assertion is wrong here because the directive principles are not relevant to determining the reasonableness of restriction under Article 19. So the determination of reasonableness by the court in different cases. So the court is determine the test of reasonableness on the following aspect. Now we discuss these aspects. So there are the 5 main aspects here. First one, the nature of right infringed. So this one is here. And second one, underlying the purpose of restriction imposed. So this one is the second ground of reasonableness. Third one is there, the evil sought to be remedied by law and its extent of urgency. And fourth here, ground of reasonableness of restriction on Article 19, how far the restriction is or is not proportionate to the evil. And last one here, fourth here test, the prevailing the condition at the time. Now these are the following cases. These are very important, and there the reasonableness is described by the Supreme Court is appropriate or not on the ground of the test of reasonableness in the context of Article 19. So first one here, Chintaman Rao versus State of Madhya Pradesh 1950. This is very important case. Second one is here, Khare versus State of Delhi 1950. Third one is Muhammad Hanif Qureshi versus State of Bihar. And last one here, the Dwarka Prasad Lakshmi Narayan versus State of Uttar Pradesh 1954. In these cases, the Supreme Court test the reasonability of the state and where the state make the restriction on the fundamental rights, especially in Article 19 on the ground of reasonableness, and in this case Supreme Court test the reasonableness. So this thing is here. Now come to our question. So first one is wrong here, and directive principle have been declared superior to fundamental right. Yes, this statement is correct, and it is clearly provided in Article 31 clause C. So this thing is here. So option A, both A and R correct. So R is a correct explanation of A. So this is wrong here. Both A and R correct. So this is also wrong. A is true but R is false. So this is wrong because A is false. So A is false but R is true. So it is our answer is here option D. Now question number 347. The fundamental duties provided in the Constitution are to protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. Yes, it is the fundamental duty. So now point 2 here, safeguard of private property. This is wrong here. It is not a fundamental duty of the citizen to safeguard the private property. Now point 3 here, to protect and improve the natural environment including forest, lake, river and wildlife. Yes, this is our fundamental duty. So these 2 points, first and third one is correct here. So clearly answer is here 3 and first are correct. So option D is correct. Now question number 348. The fundamental duties provided in the Constitution are option A here, to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. Yes, it is correct here. It is a fundamental duty of citizen. Now point 2 here, to safeguard the private property. So this one is wrong, and because the safeguard of public property, not private, it is the duty of citizen. Now point 3 here, to develop a scientific temper, humanism and spirit of inquiry and reform of these fundamental duties. So this one is also correct. So first and third is correct here. Now answer is here option D. Question number 349. It shall be duty of every citizen of India to owe the allegiance to nation and to uphold the protect the sovereignty and security of India. So this is wrong statement. To owe the allegiance of nation and uphold the protect of sovereignty but not security. The security is not a fundamental duty of the citizen, so it is wrong. Now point 2 here, to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. Yes, this is correct here. It is a fundamental duty of the citizen. Now point 3 here, to defend the country and render the nation service when called upon to do. So yes, this one is also correct. It is a fundamental duty. So 2 and 3 are correct here. So option B is correct here in this question. Now final question of this video, directive principle of state policy are fundamental for upliftment of backward classes. Option B here, protection of individual right. Option C here, administration of justice, and option D here, governance of state. So clearly answer here, directive principle of state policy are fundamental for governance of state. So clearly answer here option D. Now finish this video, and if you like this video, please click on one like button, and because your one like is promote us, please click on like button. And if you are still not subscribed our channel, please subscribe it. This channel will very helpful for your preparation. Thank you for watching Indian Judicial Service.